So ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Roma Theory. I hope you're all doing well. Now it's very hard for me today to choose between going live for a match preview or kind of detaching away from matches and speaking about transfer news. And it's not something which I usually do, because we've got a very important game on Thursday, and today was supposed to be the dedicated day to talk about that match, for me to give you my predicted 11, but I was like, no. The second I read over the past few weeks that we are into Mykhaylo MUDRYK, I'm like, please get this guy. He is an absolute baller. So today I was like, you know what, let's talk about this deal. Because there's something going on between Roma and MUDRYK. There is something going on behind the scenes. Now he's an absolute baller, and in fact I'm gonna start off this live stream by saying that he is a baller, and I would give everything I have to see him wear a Roma jersey. Now I've watched the Champions League, up to now, and SHAKTAR Donetsk are in a group stage against Real Madrid, against Celtic, and who's the third one? Against Leipzig. And MUDRYK is amazing. No wonder people call him the Ukrainian Anthony or the Ukrainian Neymar. He is sensational, ladies and gentlemen. And over the past few weeks, I've been reading that Roma are really into this guy, and I was like, this can't be right. And, part of me goes, yes, this is right. And we'll get into why this is right. But part of me is like, no, this can't be right, because he's such a baller. So I really want this guy to see, just to wear a Roma jersey, to sign a contract. And it's something which I really want to see happen. Now, if you haven't already, if you want Mykhaylo MUDRYK to sign for Roma, ladies and gentlemen, smash that like button in this live stream and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Now, speaking about him, he plays for Shakhtar. He's 21 years old. And his value is around 20 million right now. Obviously, Shakhtar is not going to let him go for 20, even 30 million and all of that, because obviously they need to get some money from it. So if the retainers, if they think his value is around 20 million, they are going to ask kind of double that to earn some money, especially because let's not forget that Shakhtar Donetsk is living a very complicated situation. Shakhtar Donetsk is a Ukrainian team, and with everything that's going on in Ukraine, it does link to some economic issues as well. Shakhtar and just the entire situation which is happening obviously means that, less players in this stage want to play in Ukraine. Means that less players are attracted to Ukrainian team's project. And, it's something which, again, football should not be part of this, but it's kind of what we're living right now. So obviously the war in Ukraine is having a negative impact on Ukrainian football clubs as well. And yes, Shakhtar are going to ask quite a lot of money from him, but, they can't be asking too much, because they know that clubs are not going to pay too much money and, galore of money. And also because, Shakhtar Donetsk is a good team, but it's an average team. So if you say to a player, right, I think it's time to step up your career, maybe a move to Roma, maybe a move to Arsenal, which, or another club which are interested in him. So you see, the situation and the club he plays in my opinion, won't be a problem. But, we can't hide the fact that Shakhtar Donetsk is asking quite a lot of money from it. Now, another thing which I will say, and to really put to mind that that MUDRYK is really followed by Roma, is the fact that Shakhtar Donetsk have turned down a 25 million to 30 million bid coming from Roma. And I would like to specify that Roma is the only club who have presented an offer to Mykhaylo MUDRYK. Now forget about them turning down this offer. What does that mean? That means that we're really into this guy. If we're offering, or if our first bid was around 25 to 30 million euros, it means that we're really into this guy. For a player who plays for Shakhtar Donetsk, who is very young, who's 21 years old, having an official first bid of $25 to $30 million is something positive. It means that the club is really into this guy, because otherwise you would not offer that big amount of money immediately. You'd wait, you'd negotiate a bit. So the fact that Roma, first time, no, 25 million, there you go, I'm going to pay you 25 million, just give me that guy, means that we're really into him. Now, the competition is high because a lot of clubs want him. Juventus want him. Arsenal are very interested in him. In fact, Arsenal and Roma right now are leading the race to sign Mykhaylo MUDRYK. So, our potential objective of getting him will depend a lot on top four. This is potentially the biggest thing that everyone can get out of this live stream. And this isn't just for MUDRYK. This is for any big player. To try and convince them. Yes, we managed to convince Dybala when we were Europa League. And we'll get into that. But obviously, if you get top four and maybe get a good placement in Europa League, more players are attracted to you. More players are like, right, I'm liking the ambitions of this club. And, therefore, Arsenal on that, if you look at that side, are definitely leading the race. But that isn't the case, because the two, in fact, are equally leading the race. But, Roma have offered money. Arsenal haven't. And the fact that Shakhtar Donetsk turned down this bid, who cares? We've offered money, Arsenal don't. That means we're more interested in him than Arsenal. And I think something to say, which again, can kind of get applied not just to him, but to any big name, is that you see a lot of competition. And you're like, you're reading about MUDRYK and you're like, right, Roma are interested in, great. And then Arsenal, no chance. You see, if Arsenal are interested in it, no chance we'll get him. Arsenal will definitely get him. And that's wrong to do. That is wrong to do because that isn't the case anymore. Now, we have got, the Fredkins have got an objective. And that objective is to make this brand, to make this club more international. And they bought Mourinho, they bought Dybala. So the project is a very ambitious project. As much as a few years ago, I would have said, right, we can't compete with Arsenal, with Man City, PSG and Real Madrid, or in another level. But a few years ago, we could not compete with clubs like Arsenal, Juventus, clubs like Chelsea, these kind of clubs. We couldn't compete with them. But the project has changed when it comes to Roma. And you see, you look at the manager we have, you look at the players we bought. And yes, it is true that he might be attracted to Arsenal more than Roma. That can be the case. But it would be wrong for us to say these players won't come to Roma. It's completely wrong for us to do that. Because we've got surprised many times with Dybala, with Wijnaldum, but especially with Mourinho, who no one was talking about. And then out of nowhere, he got announced as the new Roma manager. You see, there has been an evolution in Roma. And therefore, I don't want to hear he's definitely going to prioritize that team over us. Because yes, that can be the case. I'm not saying that can't happen. But it's not the mentality anymore. We want to build this project. We want to make this project even more ambitious. And by making this project more ambitious, you get good players. You get good managers. And we've seen how decisive Mourinho has been when it comes to Dybala, when it comes to Wijnaldum, when it comes to Belotti even. We've seen this. So he is definitely considering this option. Obviously right now, Shakhtar Donetsk, what are they in the... Let's see, they're playing tonight by the way, but they are in their group stage. Where are they? They're third. 1 point from Leipzig, who's second. 2 matches remaining. They could get the round of 16s of the Champions League. They can easily get Europa League. If that's the case, then obviously MUDRYK is going to stay until the end of the season. Then it's going to be the case that Shakhtar Donetsk will increase his price tag. And obviously that also means the further The further Shakhtar goes in European tournaments, it means that more clubs are going to pay an eye to him, pay a good look to him. So the competition will grow. The competition for this young guy who's 21 years old will grow without a doubt. But we cannot cut ourselves off from this because we've seen it happen so many times. Dybala, Man United were interested in Dybala. Atletico Madrid were interested in Dybala. Inter Milan were interested in Dybala. Two clubs were in the Champions League. 3 clubs, Man United, weren't in the Champions League. But, who would turn down a Man United bid? And yet he went to Roma. So there has been a completely brand change, a completely different attitude change from when the Fredkins came, that this is a real option. We're leading the race. We've shown a lot of interest in him. We've offered a big first bid to Shakhtar Donetsk, which they have turned down. They are asking around 50 million euros, which is a lot of money. But I think he's a baller. He's 21 years old. You look at his skills, and especially you look at something very big. You look at what Napoli did with Kvaratskhelia, and you're reading things like Manchester City are interested in Kvaratskhelia and are ready to, are willing to pay 100 million euros to get him. You see what Napoli did with Kvaratskhelia, and you're like, I want to see an unknown player who's a baller come to my club. You want to see that. Now, obviously, the difference here would be that Napoli bought Kvaratskhelia, for 14 million euros? Not even that, I think. And Roma would buy MUDRYK for at least 50 to 60 million euros. That means that if he fails, you've spent so much money on. If Kvaratskhelia failed at Napoli, something which he's not doing, something which isn't the case right now, but if Kvaratskhelia failed at Napoli, then Napoli was like, well, I only spent, 15 million euros on him. So money is definitely something big, but, we've collected a lot of money this summer in the summer transfer window because we've barely spent any money. We bought good players, by spending none. I think it's time for this team to get and to invest on one bowler. Now, it could be argued that the money should be spent elsewhere, but if you ask me, remember his name. Remember his name wherever he goes. If he goes to my club, if he goes to Arsenal, if he goes to PSG, if he goes to Man City, remember his name. Mykhaylo MUDRYK. In fact, watch him tonight. He's playing in Glasgow against Celtic. Watch him tonight. I think Roma is what needs him. He's a baller. I've said this again, and this kind of leads me towards the end of this live stream, which is we're all coming close to the Jan transfer window because we've got Helsinki on Thursday, we've got Verona, Ludogorets, we've got Lazio, we've got Sassuolo, we've got Torino. We've got 6 games before the summer transfer window. Sorry, what did I just say? Before the World Cup. After the World Cup, January transfer window, marches in. We need to improve in one thing, and that thing, you look at the start of the season, you're like, we don't score goals. Therefore, I don't want to see us in January wasting money on defenders. I would rather see us spend money on attacking players. And he is a very creative player. I think someone to put next to Dybala would boost the goals. And especially when Dybala gets injured, we need someone as creative as Dybala. And especially, in my opinion, obviously January won't be the time to buy a new striker because, maybe Tammy will get back going. Maybe Belotti will get back going. I think the 2 biggest priorities in the January transfer window is buying a creative player to put next to Dybala and Pellegrini and Nico, rotate all of them, and especially when Dybala gets injured, you put in other creative players, something which we lack now that Dybala is injured. And also, I think we have to buy a box-to-box midfielder. Someone like Kamara. Someone who gives the same intensity as Kamara. Someone who balances the defensive side of the midfielder with the attacking side of the midfielder. Something which Matic and Cristante don't do, and something which Kamara only does right now. So someone to give you a name, to give you kind of an identity kit, someone like um, Fred. And to be honest with you, I know Man United don't like Fred. I'd love to see Fred wearing a Roma jersey. I think Fred is sometimes can be sensational. Someone like Fred. We need someone like Fred. Fast on the ball. It could be said that he's versatile. Someone like him. So yeah, I think that will definitely be the priority in the January transfer window because we need to score more goals. And we have to try and get to the January transfer window maybe as fourth, because if we get to the January transfer window as fourth, then it will attract more players in the January transfer window, even though I think nothing special will happen. I would love to see Mudryk come in January, but it will not happen. It will definitely happen in June if it happens. But again, I'll definitely keep you updated on this because it's something big, which as a Roma fan, I would absolutely love. So yeah. Sam, do you think we could go for Ronaldo if he becomes free agent? Yeah. I mean, there were rumors about Ronaldo this summer. Ronaldo was going to leave Man United without a doubt, in my opinion. Again, do I see that kind of signing happen in January? No, I don't. Anything can happen, don't get me wrong. I do think Ronaldo will stay at Man United until the end of the season, if you ask me, to be honest. But I do think it can happen. I mean, the only thing is that do we obviously, who doesn't want Ronaldo? But do we really need to prioritize Ronaldo's position in the January transfer window? Because, yes, it is true that our two strikers aren't performing well, but we do have two strikers. If we have three strikers, then rotations become an absolute mess. So I'm like, I'd love that, obviously. Who'd say no to Ronaldo? But I don't think it will happen in January. What about Solbakken? Solbakken is definitely going to happen in January. Definitely. It's basically almost done. Napoli gave up on the last minute race. So he is going to sign for Roma. So I'll definitely keep you updated when it comes to the transfer window. We're basically there. A few weeks, a few months, I'd say. And we are there. So ladies and gentlemen, I will catch you tomorrow for Mourinho's press conference reaction. If you haven't already, make sure to smash the subscribe button, smash the like button. Follow me here on Instagram over at SimonLowerScore. Let me know in the comments what you think about Mudryk. Is he a bowler? Do you want him at Roma or something like that? And don't forget to smash the like button, follow, share the link of my channel with your families and friends, and I will catch you very, very soon. I would love, and I'm going to say this again, Mykhaylo MUDRYK. Remember his name. I want everyone today to watch him tonight because he's an absolute bowler. Bowler. There you go. See you.